Everyone, with everything happening so quickly, we've decided that the best way to communicate to you, our members, is to do a video. Tim and I will do a video about this time every day, just letting you know what we're up to and what progress has been made during the day. I would like to, from the outset, say that on Friday of this week at 10:30 a.m, Tim and I are going to have a more detailed webinar. So if you've got questions that you would like answered, and I know there's a lot of them, just shoot them through to me or the team at REI and we will answer as many of them as we possibly can. So Tim, lots going on at the moment. You've been actively lobbying the Premier. Can you tell me what you're focusing on right now?
Yeah, brave new world, isn't it, Leanne? Our new normal is still taking a little bit of time to get normalised, if I can use that expression.
Sure.
So three things, and it's always difficult with so much happening about what to choose. And I know you and I have had a number of conversations. Yeah. But first and foremost, we are trying to get real estate as an essential industry. And I think the arguments we've made for that through to the Premier about the necessity for agents to be assisting people with their homes, obviously not only in the rental area but in the sales area. Let's face it, you've got to put a roof over your head. So if the agents aren't involved in that, then that's going to be difficult. So I think that's a very, very good argument.
Yeah, absolutely. And the other, you've got...
so there's a couple of other things that we've done. We've also been trying to get some clarity around what's happening with all of this tenancy stuff. There is so much information out there. Pretty clearly, the federal government and the state governments, plural, haven't been talking to each other very well and coordinating their efforts in the stimulus package. So, as usual, we've got all the different states doing all the different things. Yeah. So we're unable to take much guidance from what's going on there. And New South Wales was going to be bringing some stuff out late last week, early this week, but now that hasn't happened. And you and I are getting a briefing tomorrow. So I guess we'll be in a better position tomorrow afternoon to give some further details on that. But that is a real concern, and I think you and I have both been very loud on that, saying that simply passing the financial stress of the tenant across to the landlord doesn't solve the problem. In fact, in many instances, it just makes it worse.
Exactly. So, it causes a whole lot of more problems, doesn't it? I mean, what we need is one payment that can solve three issues. It can solve the issue with the tenants, with the landlords, and of course, with the agents. So we've just got to make sure that that money circulates rather than just getting missing out on one or two of the three parties.
And you're 100% right. I mean, an economy exists on the flow of money. That's its lifeblood. Yeah. And if you stop the flow of money, then it's like a domino effect all the way down, and everything falls in on it. Yeah. So I think what we need to do is that the community needs to assist tenants to pay their rent. That is not only good for the tenant, that is also good for the entire ecosystem, which is the rental market.
Yeah, exactly.
It shouldn't be the landlord. I mean, it's a community problem.
No, it doesn't make any sense for just the landlord to suffer. But the government's messaging has been really confusing, and we know that agents, property managers, are getting inundated with people saying, well, we're not going to pay rent for the next 6 months because the government said we didn't have to. So it's just appalling, and we want our members to know that we know how appalling it is and that we have been non-stop lobbying every person that we possibly can to get it solved. And I actually think, even though it's driving everybody mad that it's taken this long for an answer, I think that just means that the government have recognised how complicated it is, and they've recognised that they have to do it properly. At least that's what I'm hoping.
I think you're right, and just to add to that, I was in conversation with the Treasurer's office yesterday. They reached out to us after our letters went through. Yep. And something I forgot to tell you about is that the Premier's office has also reached out today, and they would like to have a chat as well. So I think both of those things and the delay are an indication that those with carriage of this project have gone back and are now starting to have another look at it.
Yes, indeed. Although it's a bit of a worry that they're only now sort of saying, oh, actually, maybe we better talk to you. But anyway, what do you do?
Yeah, there's nothing like consulting with industry.
Totally.
But anyway, even if they do it late rather than never.
Yeah.
And the last thing that we've done is, given how bad everything is and at the speed at which it's gone that way, we think it's appropriate, given what ScoMo said, that everybody should be shouldering a little bit of the load, is that we're approaching fair trading, and we're saying to fair trading, we think this year that you should waive all licensing fees, etc. this year, in the interest of trying to help agents out there. I mean, pretty clearly, Leanne, that it's going to be very, very tough on agency practice, and the licensing fees is always a barrier to staying in the industry, and this year even more so. So it's appropriate that fair trading also shoulder some of the load.
Yeah, absolutely agree. And there's a lot of questions around how the 30% decline in turnover for the JobKeeper allowance is going to be calculated. So we are trying to get some clarity on that and so many other things. I'm hoping to get an email from Fair Trading with lots of answers, hopefully overnight tonight. But as soon as we get the answers, we will send them to you. You and I are going to talk about this time every day, Tim. We have got a webinar at 10:30 on Friday morning. So please just send those questions in, and we will endeavour to answer as many of them as we possibly can. Okay, Tim, I'll catch up with you tomorrow. Thank you.
Thanks, Leanne. We'll talk again.
Okay, bye-bye.